Afternoon, Jeremy from Lucky Hat Outdoors, and this afternoon we're going to discuss the disassembly and reassembly of the Diamondback DB380 series of semi-automatic handguns. Anytime we're dealing with weapons, safety is of the utmost importance. So before we proceed any further, we're going to make sure that this gun is completely unloaded. To do so, we're going to press the magazine release, remove the magazine. I like to visually inspect the magazine to see if there's any ammo in it, just so I know. Set it aside. Since there is no slide stop, we'll be forced to pull the slide to the rear and hold it while visually inspecting the chamber to ensure there's no ammunition. Once that is done, point the weapon system in a safe direction. For my purposes, since I live on a second floor apartment, safe direction will be up, and pull the trigger. Once that's done, the DB380 disassembles just exactly like a Glock. I like to put my thumb and forefinger, wrap it around the rear sight, and pull about 1/8 of an inch. We'll then pull down with the takedown lever, and that will allow me to slide the frame and slide apart. We can set aside the lower. Once inside, you'll see the two-piece guide rod, very similar to some of the newer Glocks. We'll just press forward and remove. The front spring will slide off. One thing I learned though is it has different fit on each side, so if for some reason you go to put the gun back together and the spring doesn't want to go in, simply reverse this spring and it should fix your problem. Like most weapon systems, the barrel is removed simply by pressing up and moving outward, and disassembly is complete. Reassembly is simply the photo opposite of disassembly. We'll place the barrel back in, spring and guide rod, press forward until we get it to drop into place. Place the slide and frame together, pull to the rear, and it will safely lock in place. And that is the disassembly and reassembly of the Diamondback DB380. Here in a minute I'll put on my GoPro and we'll shoot some POV footage so you can see it up close. So again, anytime we're dealing with any weapon system, safety is the utmost importance. There's no external safeties on the Diamondback DB380, so we will simply drop the magazine. And you'll notice there's no slide stop on this gun, and that means to inspect the chamber we have to pull the slide to the rear, hold it, and visually inspect the chamber to make sure there's no ammunition. Once that's done, we're going to place it in a safe direction, for me that is up, and pull the trigger. Now, the DB380 is basically a scaled down version of a Glock and disassembles the same way, so I'm going to place my hand with my thumb on the grip, forefinger around the rear sight, squeeze until I get about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to pull the detent down and remove the frame and slide. The frame is complete. We are done with that for maintenance purposes. Remove the guide rod and spring, and they can be separated. This spring has two different sides, and if you ever have issues getting it back in, simply flip the spring around and you might get better results. Pick up and out with the barrel, and we're done. Reassembly is reversing the process. We'll place the barrel in, spring and guide rod together, press back into the gun, place a slide on the frame, and just like a Glock, we'll pull it back to the rear. It'll lock in place, and reassembly of the DB380 is complete.
Alright, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, the like button below. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.